There's a line on the Bitcoin chart and it matters. Why does it matter? We're going to talk about the 200-day moving average with Bitcoin. When should you be buying Bitcoin? It's all right here on the chart. Exactly when to buy and when to sell. Breaking it all down right here in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here. I know a lot of people want to know, when should you buy Bitcoin? Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? When is a good time to buy Bitcoin? Like any video that I make, I talk about the idea of long-term investing. If you're going to be investing long-term, there's really no better time to buy than today, and then be consistent in your buying. But sometimes the chart shows us things that we need to really kind of see. Bitcoin, you can see right now, this is the daily chart. And well, this blue line is the 200-day moving average. I'm using the EMA. This is exponential moving average. It's giving you the idea of what the price is doing and creating an average for that price over a certain time frame, and that being a 200-day moving average. Now, if we look here at Bitcoin on the chart right now, daily chart, you can see back there in May of 2021, Bitcoin broke below the 200-day moving average. It dropped down to this level here, bounced off support, and then it broke back above. And you know, clearly looking at the chart, we saw that there was serious support at these levels. So that gave people an idea of where to be buying at. So now where we're at today is again kind of in this similar area. And we're not, I wouldn't say we're at the exact support area just yet. And you can see as well how the price action reacted to the 200-day moving average there, that blue line. Remember, the moving averages is basically giving us an overall average of the price action movement. So if we look back through history here, we got the breakdown. So this was pretty much a sell signal or a signal to not be buying more Bitcoin off of these levels. You know, I don't want to just go buy when I clearly see that the price of Bitcoin is now below the 200-day moving average. You can see back there in September, it pulled back to that level, but it really didn't break. These are daily candles. So most of these daily candles kind of closed above there. There's a little bit of wiggle room there. At the end of the day, you're not ever going to nail it perfectly, but it gives you an idea here. It gives you an idea, like, should you be more aggressive with your buying, or should you be taking profits and things like that? Now, obviously, I wouldn't want to sit around and wait for a big drop to take profits. I want to be taking profits as we push up. We saw that there was resistance here. We got stuck there. That's an idea to take profit. Now, if we go back and we look through time, let's go back to 2017. You had the big, massive move in Bitcoin. If we zoom in and we look at this, we broke below the EMA, had a little spike back above, a couple little spikes, but in general, we followed the EMA lower, or I guess the EMA, the 200-day moving average, followed the price lower, and the price of Bitcoin got all the way down here to $4,000. It did break above once again, so now returning to the bullish momentum, getting back above the EMA, rallying from that $5,000 level up there to $14,000. Now, hey, if you guys haven't already, check out Crypto.com. Simple, easy to use app right on your phone. You can download it for Android and for iPhone, and you can buy all the latest and greatest cryptocurrencies that are on the market today. Let's get back into the action. You can see, again, kind of just bouncing around off of the EMAs there. But it's not like a very clear break. We're not holding above it. We keep dipping below. So we're kind of, in that accumulation area. We had a big drop because of COVID and things like that. But you can see how we've gotten back above there. We've made these highs. And the key to really focus on is we're pushing above this resistance here back there in February of 2020. So the price of Bitcoin pushes above this resistance. We're now above the 200-day moving average. This is looking very bullish, right? The 200-day moving average is turning into support. So again, I didn't have to buy the exact bottom, but I'm looking at the 200-day moving average for a reason to be very bullish or to be very bearish in my investment strategy, or if I'm going to be loading up the boat. At the end of the day, I think the best place to really load up the boat is when, we get these massive pullbacks to support areas, and then we're starting to load. But if we look here, let's look at the weekly chart. This is something that I really want to point out for you guys. Again, the 200-day moving average with the weekly candles, with the weekly chart, where does that put us? That puts us all the way down here around $25,000. I would think that Bitcoin would go even lower than that, but this would really get me excited to start buying, because if you look back here, 2017, you had a big, massive move. It pulls back to the 200-day moving average there on the weekly chart. It gets stuck there, it accumulates, and we finally break back above. We get another little run up. But guess what? During that market crash of 2020, it pulls back to the 200-day moving average one more time before going to the moon. So if you waited for that pullback to the 200-day moving average, you would have, let's say you would have locked in about 1,000% return there on that momentum, on that move. Instead of trying to buy this big push up here, obviously we don't always know if the market's going to pull back to that moving average, but we know by looking through history that this has been a very common pattern, that Bitcoin likes to make massive moves to the upside and then pull back around 80%. And what's interesting is if you go from the top here, 80% is, like I say, it's like right down there, which puts it right in line with this previous area of resistance accumulation, this price channel there at this level between $8,000 and $12,000, $13,000 right there. So this right here, I think is, I mean, if somehow Bitcoin gets down to these levels, I'm buying hand and fist. I'm selling my left kidney, my right kidney. I don't need any kidneys anymore, my friends. Again, this is not financial advice. I do not say you should go out and sell your kidneys to buy more Bitcoin, but if you see what's going on here with the chart. Now, there's obviously always a bullish thesis. There's a bullish thesis that right now Bitcoin's basically doing this, that Bitcoin's in a channel and Bitcoin is ready to rocket once again. I think the issue with that idea is you have a lot of stuff going on overall in the world with the, stuff with Ukraine. It all could just be a flash in the pan, and by the end of these, end of 2022, Bitcoin could be back up here to $70,000. You never know. At the end of the day, you just never know. So I think, if you're able to buy Bitcoin when it's pulling back, you get opportunities to pull back, you can't go wrong in the long term. If you're trying to time Bitcoin day in and day out, it's going to be very difficult because nobody knows exactly which way this thing's going to go. But one thing that we have learned over the years of doing this with Bitcoin is Bitcoin likes that 200-day moving average, baby. It's just something about it. It likes to get down there. So that's the big question now. I've seen a lot of thesis that, this, like I said, is going to bounce and then we're going to get a move and Bitcoin's going to kind of go and then just rocket up to $100,000 by the end of 2022, 2023 there. And kind of being an idea, you'd really need an aggressive move up there to get there before the end of the year. That's basically putting at December. There's also the theory, I see this theory as well, that Bitcoin kind of does this, where Bitcoin goes and then kind of just goes down till here in the end of the year and then starts to make the move back up going into the next halving down the road. So there's a lot of questions, at the end of the day, there's always a lot of questions, but I think these are all information, all things that you really need to be looking at if you're going to be buying, you're going to be selling, and looking at different ideas for investing, is understanding what has the patterns done before. What has Bitcoin done in the past that would give us a reason to believe that it might do it again? And I think you can't go wrong when you think about that 80% drop. A lot of people, like I said, will still be bullish here because they don't think that this bull market is over just yet. But I think with everything that's going on in the world right now, there's a lot of headwind against the idea of Bitcoin just rallying to the moon, because people are looking for ways to invest their money, but they're also looking for ways to not lose money. So obviously Bitcoin's a very risk adverse, asset. So it's not, I wouldn't say, the first place that people want to put their investment money. And until things change, well, the question is, does Bitcoin touch down here to the 200-day moving average? Do we do the 80% pullback all the way down to here? It's the world we're living in today, my friend. So definitely keep an eye on that 200-day moving average, looking at the daily chart, at the weekly chart, looking for the cross, looking for that 200-day moving average to turn into support. If you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.